Welcome back to the channel. On the bench today is my Akai Am-A3 amplifier. I've had this a very long time. I think I was, oh my god, I think it was 16. I was 16. I swapped a Amstrad CPC 464 at a sort of like the equivalent of a UK cash converters, but this is like 1989, and I went in there and I saw it and I needed a new amplifier and I wasn't using the Amstrad CPC, and so I asked the owner, can I swap an Amstrad CPC? It was just the computer itself, not the monitor, and he said yes. And so this was my main amplifier from, wow, 16 to about 28, 29. So, and then it then went into storage, and I've had it for so long, so long. And yeah, it's a great little amplifier. It's not the most powerful thing in the world. It really isn't, but it's got a lot of sentimental values for me. So it was made in about 1985. So yeah, it's pretty basic. It's got a bass and a treble. You've got two speaker systems for this, so you can connect up 4 speakers if you want to. Got a balance, this loudness and subsonic thing. This is like a 3D stereo effect it does, and also the loudness. Then you have a little power meter here. CD auxiliary, tuner, phono. It's got a phono preamp, which is actually quite loud. And then you have here tape 1 and tape 2. I've had mini disc on there and all sorts. Nice big volume control, lovely and smooth. Again, the controls here are good. It's got a lovely feel to it. Considering it's moved God knows how many times in my life, it's near enough scratch free. There's 1 or 2 little marks here. And on the back here, you've got connections for 4 speakers, speaker A and B there. I think it's probably about 30 watts per channel, something like that. It's not powerful at all. You've got the ground connection for the record player, the phono, tuner, CD auxiliary. You've got the tape, record and play, so inputs and outputs for the tapes. And then here I've got these link bars, and you can put an equalizer in here. So you back in the day you'd have a good few components, and one of them would be an equalizer, which you could then adjust the sound as you wish. With these, it's just a simple link which basically links the out to the in. Again, there's a little mark there as well. Am-A3, doesn't say in the wattage on there. And again, it's pretty basic. This isn't the most exciting device I've ever shown on this channel, but it has a huge amount of sentimentality. Now, what I'm going to do with this is actually put it back into service as my main amplifier in the cave here in my home office. I did have it in my previous one and I put it away because I have a Kenwood amplifier, which again I've had for quite a long time. The Kenwood amp I actually bought in '98, brand new, and that was then my main amplifier. The Kenwood's showing signs of failure, probably dodgy solder joints. And I just want to sort of get this out. It's got a good sound. It does everything I would need, certainly in the cave here. And yeah, it's just really a sentimental piece. So I've already actually taken the screws out, so let me just take the cover off. So here we go. A nice big power transformer here. Pretty basic amplifier in some respects. Again, you've got all of the selectors are mechanical. you've got the board here, which basically deals with all of the inputs for things like the phono preamp and stuff. The main SK4893 IC for actually the power. You've got a sopping great big full bridge rectifier there. Yeah, it's this used to run hot, and back in the day when I was actually really using it, and I used to I actually put a fan on the back here, and I mounted that and actually sort of pulled air through, and that seemed to help. But these days I don't need anything like that. Yeah, it all seems fine. Again, I'm just going to go through the whole board and sort of just do a check out. Will I recap it? Not really. Not unless I absolutely have to. All the caps look pretty good here. You've got also some weird ass values. What's these big ones? These are 8,200 micropuffs at 56 volts. Yeah, that's quite unusual. It's a bit dusty. It's been in the loft for a while. It was in use for about a year. There's also one issue. This is a relay to actually energize the speakers. Occasionally this sticks. So what I want to do is actually check on all the solder joints for that. I have seen a couple of solder joints down on the phono jacks. The great thing about this whole unit is I can actually take the bottom panel off and access pretty much everything without taking the board out. So okay, let's take the bottom off that, and let's have a look at the solder joints. Okay, so this is the bottom of the amplifier, and again you can see I actually have been in here a couple of times doing dodgy solder joints. I'm just going to sort of go over the whole board. It's nothing spectacular here. I'm going to take out that side board here and do some more work on those. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of check this out and then put it back into service. Okay, let's spin up the soldering iron. And I've had a couple of PMs, private messages, and this is what I use as my soldering station, the WEP 853D. And also I use the Duratool desoldering gun as well. This little setup has done me proud for many years now. The only issue with the Duratool is that during the cold, the fan inside it tends to be a bit noisy on startup. But the WEP 853D has been brilliant, actually, to be honest with you. It's been very, very good. So, okay. All right, let's crack on with this and go through the solder joints. I found this. There's some sort of corrosion going on here. So I'm going to sort of try and clean it off, and then I'll reflow that. So yeah, there's a few other dodgy solder joints. Yeah, I just thought that was actually a hairline crack, but it's not. Yeah, so I'm just going to clean that up and yeah, just redo that one. In the past I have gone through some of these, and these all look like I've been through at some point, but there's other parts which I haven't touched at all. So okay, let's just clean that one up and try and get that reflowed. Right, I've just completed that little repair there. That seems to have come up okay. It took quite a bit of scratching back to get back to the trace. The shiny stuff on there is just isopropanol. I've just cleaned up all of the tracks. Yeah, I'm gonna just reflow that one there, just make sure everything's all good. And I think then, yeah, I'm just gonna put the cover back on and put this back into service. I think just check it out beforehand, and yeah, you can see where the dark area is. That's where it actually gets hot. That's the some of the main power transistors are there. So okay, right, let's get this back up into service. Okay, so it's all back together again. Let's power it up and see what happens. There we go. So the tape bulb on that one doesn't work. CD and the CD one. So okay, I'm going to have a look at those bulbs right now. So I've taken the front panel off, and also then got the light, the LEDs out, and as you can see, it's quite baked in there. Pretty baked. Some of the resistors look like some of the resistors have had a problem, and there's broken solder joints all over this board. Let me just zoom in. There we are. As you can see, broken solder joints everywhere. So yeah, so I'm going to reflow all these. I'm going to check that top R72 resistor, see what it's like, but yeah, there's not much we can do. I don't think I've got these type of resistors. Might have them, I'm not sure. I'll check what the ohms are. I think I've got the service manual for this. Yeah, okay, let's get all these solder joints done. So on the LED lights for the front panel, I have replaced all of the resistors. Come on, zoom in, there we go. I've replaced all the resistors there, as the original ones were absolutely baked and cracking up and all sorts. Still hasn't actually solved the LEDs lights, the LEDs not coming on, and I actually think a number of them are actually burnt out. So I've got to try and source some more LEDs, which is easy enough. I have put contact cleaner into a lot of the pots down there. I put one into one of those things because it was playing up. So yeah, I'm going to put the front panel back on and put this thing back together again. So the lights that aren't working are the CD and tuner. The phonos are lighting up. Tape 1 is lighting up, and tape 2 is as well. So those are the ones that are thing. I just need to replace those two LEDs for CD and tuner. That can be done later. So I've got the amplifier back together again. Just shoved it up on my shelf where my other amplifier used to go. I've got YouTube audio library on, and I found a track which sort of seems to sound okay. So it's all plumbed in. Let's have a go. Well, that sounded pretty good. The power level doesn't really show exactly what's going on. It's sort of, I don't know whether it's a pseudo power level, I'm not, but I've tried it and I go past about 3 and it starts to distort. So that could just be overdriving the line in from my PC. I'm not entirely sure. I run Linux, and sometimes Linux on different machines has different volume levels coming out of the sound card. Like you run the same different OS, like Windows on it, and you get a different audio levels. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the amp, and it does sound pretty good. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up around this one. The old amplifier, which is down here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. This Kenwood, what is it? So this is a KRF-V7030D. It's a bloody good little amp, actually. I'm still not sure whether to actually take it out of and use the on. It's one of those things. It's is my sort of nostalgia for my old amplifier warranted, or do I just keep on using this? I don't know. But yeah, it's yeah, this is a great little amplifier. So got all sorts. It can do all sorts and actually control video sources and everything. It's overkill for what I need in here, but it's also quite a nice little amplifier as well. So yeah, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. Right. Well, thanks for watching. That's just a quick video about going through this little Am-A3 amplifier. I can recommend them. If you find one on eBay, go for it. They are quite long in the tooth, 1985, but it sounds great. So as good as I remember it being. So, well, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate that, and I'll see you on the next video.